All right, we got a little football to talk about for the first time all year, right? Pretty good stuff. Good game last night. And let's talk a little bit about the game last night, and we'll get you ready for the Eagles and the Packers. You have Peacock? I'm not, I don't have it. I won't be able to watch the game. I'm all right. I'm not paying to watch the game. I'm just not. I did a rant on this today. First of all, how are you? You having a good day? Everybody good? I hope so. All right. So I did a rant on this today. You know, Baltimore is good. They're a good team. And Lamar Jackson is an electrifying talent. But you're not winning a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson as your quarterback because his arm is so-so. It just is. And it was on full display last night when the Ravens absolutely had to have it. He missed Lively, open in the corner of the end zone. Very next play, Zay Flowers, wide open. Nobody near him. Pass wasn't even close. That's Lamar Jackson in a nutshell. Takes your breath away, electrifying. And yet, when you need him to come up big with his arm, not his legs, he can't do it. He can't do it. I've been saying this for years. I don't want my quarterback to be a great running back. I don't. I want my quarterback to be a great quarterback. And when you play quarterback in the National Football League, at some point in time, you're going to have to make a play to win the game with your arm. Okay? And you can't miss the two receivers that he missed before the toe on the line to end the game. You can't miss Lively in the corner. You can't miss Flowers, who's wide open. You can't. Okay? That to Flowers was a pitch and catch. That's not a hard throw to make. You're not winning with Lamar Jackson as your quarterback. You're just not. I'm sorry. You're not. Same story. Want to hear from you. What do you have to say today? Hit me up. Here's your link. If you want to call the show, you got the QR code above my shoulder. What do you want to talk about? Good game last night. Really good game. A whisker. And Baltimore was going to go for two. They were going to go for two. And they didn't get the opportunity because of an inch. But it shouldn't even come down to that. You got to hit Lively in the corner of the end zone. You know, that wasn't even close. And you've got to hit Flowers. I mean, that's pitch and catch. Come on. It's the National Football League. So, same story with Lamar Jackson. I don't want to hear about Lamar MVP. I don't want to hear about it anymore. All right? I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't care if you're an MVP of the regular season. It means nothing to me. I want you to be the MVP in the postseason. And Lamar Jackson has not been close to becoming the MVP in the postseason. So, not going to happen, folks. Not going to happen. All right. Don't forget about Pick a Rant for Grant. If you want to, I don't know, you have an idea for a rant today? Pick a rant for Grant. All right? Says, I think Harbaugh was going to go for two because he got Lively's toe was out. Maybe. You know, I think on the road you go for two there. Mahomes has the best line in the press conference. Next time wear white cleats. A lot of truth to that, right? But boy, was that close. Man, that was close. But it shouldn't have come down to that. You got to hit Lively in a corner. That was not an easy throw, but it's a throw that most quarterbacks in the NFL would make. And Flowers, I mean, come on. Yeah, you can't do that. All right? Why does Kansas City get away with so many non-call penalties? I have no problem with Kansas City and everything, you know? DirecTV rant. Yeah, I should do a rant on DirecTV, Peter. Absolutely. It's a good one. I'm going to look at some other ideas, but yeah, I can do a rant on DirecTV. Again, the game tonight, you want to talk about Philadelphia and Green Bay, go right ahead. If you want to talk about the game last night or any of the games coming up in college football tomorrow or Sunday or Monday, happy to do that. Now, I'm not going to have a show on Monday. It's a travel day for me, and I'm going to be in the air most of the day. I will be on Tuesday at 3 o'clock right here with Sean Salisbury. So Sean debuts Tuesday at 3 o'clock right here if you don't like that. And we'll talk to Sean about the college and the NFL. That's coming up on Tuesday. All right. How excited was I to see Taylor Swift at the game? You know my answer to that. I have a question. How come we didn't see Brittany Mahomes at all during the game? Did NBC not show her because she's supporting Donald Trump? Well, that's the world we're living in today. Did you see Patrick Mahomes' wife once during the game? They always show her. But now, because she has come out and publicly supported presidential candidate Donald Trump, NBC doesn't show her. Think about that for a minute. Coincidence? I don't think so. That's the country we're living in. It's absurd. If you support a certain candidate, you're canceled. That's just the way it is. You know? Thoughts on tonight's game? I'm picking Green Bay. I love what I saw from Jordan Love at the end of last year. I don't like the fact that the game is in Brazil. I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm not a fan of that at all. Not on board with that. Not on board with that at all. But, you know, it is what it is. And I'm not on board that the game is being streamed on Peacock. All right? DirecTV offered me a $20 rebate for missing ESPN. $20. Come on. It's embarrassing. All right? Come on. I'm not going to rant on Taylor Swift because I don't care about Taylor Swift. All right? I have nothing against Taylor Swift. I have nothing against her at all, but I'm tired of it. All right? I'm tired of it. Let's go, Grant. Honorary cheesehead tonight. Not a chance in the freaking world. That's never happening. I'm not an honorary anything. I'm an honorary New York Giants lifelong fan. All right? I'm not an honorary anything. And that is in my core. I don't root for any other team in the NFL. I do root for teams that are playing the Cowboys, though. So, you know, I guess I just kind of contradicted myself, but no. All right? No Swift and no politics, sports only. Yeah, well, that ship has sailed, hasn't it? How come Brittany Mahomes wasn't shown once? Once. Isn't she always shown on the national games? Always. Now, I'm not saying she should be, but she is. And last night, we didn't see her one time. Why do you think that is? I think we know the answer to that. Just the way it is. You know? Just the way it is. All right, again, if you want to call the show, it's easy to do so. I'm not going to go that long today. Here is your link. If you want to get on, it is easy to do. And I'm very, very happy to take your phone calls and we can talk about a lot of topics. So let's get to some phone calls right now. And why don't we say hello to Al? Al, go ahead. How are you?
I'm good, Nate. Hey, I want to apologize to you and the other listeners for the other day when I called. I thought I was texting or messaging. I saw Dorian and Manny, sending some comments that I thought were to me. So I didn't realize I'd left the YouTube site to go over to the call site. So I apologize for the confusion.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to apologize to anybody. What do you want to?
Yeah, well, first off, I listened to your rant on Lamar. You know what, man? If I'm playing defense on Jackson, I'm going to shut down the middle of the field. You know, I mean, I'm just going to make him make the hard pass to the outside, which, as you pointed out, he really can't make the tough throw. And you know, just soft rush him. You know, try to keep him in the pocket. That's the only thing he brings to the table. I completely agree with your rant on the fact that, you know, eventually a quarterback's going to have to make a throw or two, you know. Yep. It's not just about the legs. And so, you know, it's a good game. No, I really enjoyed it. You know, I'm, you know, back and forth. Wow, it started out like a gangbusters. I mean, good gravy. You know, the Ravens go, you know, right down the field, and then it right after the two teams traded opening touchdowns, it kind of settled into like a like a defensive struggle. So, you know, hey, the Chiefs, you know, you picked them for the AFC. I thought I had the Ravens last night, thinking, you know, okay, they'll come out and I had them coming out of the AFC, but you know, look, well, it's week one, still early, but
I'm never picking Baltimore to come out of the AFC as long as Lamar Jackson's their quarterback. Not doing it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to you and Sean. Though, man, I'll tell you, you guys are gold. Your shows with Sean, and he even has commented on how well you set him up when you guys do your show together. You just like you used to work with Jerry. You guys are like gold. So that's going to be a lot of fun stuff. You guys talk about everything. It's so much fun, and I can't wait for that. And again, I can't. This is why I listen to you all the time. I Brittany Mahomes not on TV. Well, we know why. And then here's another one I got for you.
I'm okay with not seeing Brittany Mahomes on TV, the same way I'm okay with not seeing Taylor Swift. But you can't tell me that Brittany Mahomes is always shown on TV at least once, and now all of a sudden, because she comes out and publicly supports Donald Trump, now she's not shown at all. Well, that's not a coincidence. We know why.
You know what? It is the country we live in, Nate. Yep. That's why I almost was done voting, with all this nonsense. I said, I just done. I'm not going to vote anymore. I'm retro.
I'm not voting in this election. I've been very transparent about that. So, people can say I'm on one side. No, I'm not. I'm not voting candidate. I'm not voting. And personally, without being like, a Debbie Downer, I don't think it matters who the president is, because this country is so divided that it really doesn't matter. Because if Harris wins, 50% of the country is going to, be against her. And if Trump wins, 50% and no one's going to be able to work together, because all the country cares about are their agendas. And I'll tell you that I put the blame on the media more than anyone else. Our news outlets are an embarrassment. They're an absolute embarrassment. And that's another reason why I'm sitting out this election. I don't want to be a part of it.
You always preach to the choir as far as my personal views. I'm a year older than you, so me and you can talk about some of the classic sports moments and things that go on in our lives. And you had Bert, your dad used to get the community together to take the buses to Washington D.C. civil rights.
My dad would be very disappointed to hear me talk like this, because my dad believed in using your voice and your vote. And so he would be very disappointed to hear me say this, but that's how I feel.
But Grant, I think at the same time, he would understand where you're coming from, particularly with your position where you got canceled.
Yeah, my dad wouldn't believe it. My dad, I tell you, I'm so, I got to say this. I'm not happy that my dad wasn't alive, but I'm glad that my dad did not see that, because it would have destroyed him.
Oh, because I remember you talked about when you got the job with the Kings and how you called them, and one thing, I think if Bert was alive, he would fire it up, man. He would go after, he'd be right in your corner. He'd be right.
My dad knows the truth, just like I know the truth. My dad knows what I've done for the Black community and all minorities ever since I was old enough to understand what that meant. And that's how I was brought up, and it's how I live my life. And I still live my life to this day. And I can go on and on and on. So my dad would be appalled, because he knows what I stand for and what I believe in. And so, but we don't have to relive that. Let's talk football.
Yeah. Hey, did you see, and I like Green Bay too. I did Philly, man. That tailspin last year, and then they're one and done in a play. That Tampa Bay just like trucked them out of the playoffs. I don't know. It's something it's a new season, but how do you recover from a second half of football that was that
bad? A good start. This is a big game for Philadelphia, because they need momentum, and if they lose and don't play well tonight, to me that's a carryover from last year. So I think this is a critical game for Philadelphia. I know it's only one game, but it's critical.
Yeah, they landed the second half of this. I never see. They were 10-1, Nate, 10-1, and I gotta think. I think you called Dallas, I think, for the division. I kind of think Dallas is going to, win.
I called Dallas for the division. I called Philadelphia to win the division.
I'm sorry. I
didn't pick Dallas because of Dak Prescott.
Can I ask, did you see what Roddy White's comments about the Clemson players after they lost to Georgia?
Yeah. I don't pay attention to those type of comments. I think it's sad.
It's like, and I liked Roddy White. I'm a Rams fan, but I always liked how his game and how he was a stand-up. But boy, that kind of like threw me for a loop. I started thinking now the roles were reversed, and this was like maybe a white commentator saying the same comment, reversing it. Too many black players. There would be a firestorm, and it'd be. But anyway. You have a good night, man. I'll be talking to you, and I'll listen on Tuesday. I can't wait for you and Sean, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Take care, buddy.
It very much. All right, let's get to John next. Hello, John. Welcome. How are you today, buddy?
I'm doing all right, Grant. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Man, football's back, buddy. It started yesterday, and I am so glad. I could see how elated you were yesterday
Yeah.
and the day before.
Yeah.
Man, this is what we live for, Grant. This is what we've been talking about this for decades, that the toughest part of the year was 2 months leading up today. And right now, the greatest part is, these next 2 months when football start and hockey's going to start, basketball, everything. This is it. Finally, it's here, man. It seems like yesterday it was a Super Bowl, but here we are again, getting ready for another run, man.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, that game last night, it was one hell of a game. It was fun to watch from the first drive to the very last drive. And hey, Jackson, man, you and I are on the same page about this. He is a good scrambler and stuff, but he simply doesn't have the arm. And at the end of the game, like you said, if he doesn't make, I can understand he's got those two, even the 3 passes, the one hit the toe on the line, at least one of those. If you don't complete both of them, one of them you got to be able to complete as a pro quarterback in this league. He's got to be able to drop it in there. Hey, 25 quarterbacks in the league would drop it, would be able to make at least one of those throws. That both of them should have been caught. Most quarterbacks probably would make them both, but you got to make at least one. That's why it's got to be just daunting to Baltimore fans knowing that they can be so close, but one tiny little aspect, it's a huge aspect of a quarterback, but a tiny aspect of the whole game could derail the entire season. But we never know, man. This is why we play him. And hey, he could be reeled in, perhaps a little bit.
He's not going to be reeled in. He's not going to be reeled in. He is who he is. He's not going to be reeled in. Yeah. This is what it is. He's been in the league long enough. You know what you have in him. Yeah.
And really, he could be a little bit, but he wouldn't be the same dynamic guy that he is now. And that's kind of why they got him, Well, it was a great game, though, start to finish.
He's very good. He's electrifying. Baltimore is a good team, but their goal is to get to the Super Bowl, and they're not getting to the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson.
Man, you're talking about a team that I root for, that I know that we've got some problems in the quarterback room as well. But hey, man, this is what it is.
Have a great weekend, John.
Grant, I want to say one other thing real quick, man. Yeah. I've been super busy this week, and yesterday I tried to hop on, but it was like 3:40 or something. But I did listen to your show before the game, and listening to your rant, I laughed my ass off out loud about who the hell would want to live in Cleveland if they don't have to, man. Because Putin Bay was pretty good, and that's way north. And the airport is the best thing to me because you could leave that place.
Amen.
But great rant. And hey, great hearing that Pollard is doing so great too, Grant. Keep us updated on that, man. Keep up the great work, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Have a great weekend. Good stuff from John. And if you want to call the show, it is very easy to do. And I would love to hear from you. And again, pick a rant for me. They want me to rant on DirecTV. You have anyone else? Any other ideas? Pick a rant for Grant. And I would be more than happy to do whatever you would like. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. They're available around the clock 24/7 for your plumbing needs and repairs. Just go to sackserviceplumbing.com or call the number on your screen. Again, that's New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you at sackserviceplumbing.com. They are awesome. And speaking of awesome, how about brunch tomorrow or Sunday at Bennett's? Whether it's the West Side Grill in Rockland or in Roseville or Sacramento, it is a great brunch. I was there last Sunday in Roseville for their brunch. Really enjoyed it. And it's easy to make a reservation. You go to bennettsrestaurants.com. You can make a reservation and more. Prime seafood and steak at Bennett's. Again, that's bennettsrestaurants.com. All right, we got football tonight. Peacock only. It is being streamed. Welcome to the new world of streaming. You know what? I don't have it where I'm at. Maybe I'll try to find it. Maybe go to a sports bar somewhere, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It's more of a principle thing to me than anything else. Just stupid. You got the National Football League season beginning and everyone's excited. And now a lot of people aren't going to be able to watch it. It's greed by Roger Goodell. Screw it. I don't want to be a part of it. So if I don't watch the game, I don't watch the game. Danny, stop with the injuries. Would you please stop with the excuses? Name me one team in the National Football League last year that didn't have injuries. Come on. Come on now. All right. Please. Just like last night, this game could have critical playoff implications in the seeding. Well, that's why you have games in the regular season, Adam. I mean, that's what it's about. You know, that's what it's about. So, you know, first of all, I don't think home field advantage is that important anymore. It used to be. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, how did it work out for Baltimore last year as the number 1 seed? How did that work? Right? How did that work? John said a DirecTV rant would be perfect. All right, go to a sports bar in Napes. You can smack talk Eagles fans. I can't deal with the Eagles fans. Thoughts on the Steelers? Well, you know, now Russell Wilson may not play. So with the calf, you know, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have any. And that's the situation with Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, I'm not sold on Pittsburgh. And I love Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin's one of the best coaches of his generation. I'm a huge Mike Tomlin fan, but I don't see it right now for Pittsburgh. All right. So here is our Friday pick a rant for Grant. Do you have DirecTV? Well, if you do, I would like to tell you 2 things. Number 1, Disney, ABC, ESPN, they don't give a damn about you. They don't care whether you are able to watch the U.S. Open or the college football or Monday Night Football. They don't give a damn. You think DirecTV cares about you? No. You know what it is? It's freaking greed with a capital G. And who's left out in the dark? You and me if we have DirecTV. Now, you could always call up DirecTV and tell them to get the damn dish off the top of your place. But then what are you going to do? You're going to go with what? Greed. And you know what the problem is? It's now going on a week. They've had a week to fix this. They had a week to figure this out. They had a week to say, you know what? We need to come and negotiate and come up with a deal to appease the millions of people in America that have DirecTV that now can't watch the U.S. Open, can't watch the college football game, can't watch this, can't watch that. Here's the bottom line. They don't give a damn about you. DirecTV doesn't care about you. ESPN, ABC, Disney, whatever the hell you want to call them, they don't care about you. They do not give a damn. So you're paying all this money. You're expecting to watch what you want to watch. And then all of a sudden, because of freaking greed, you don't get a chance to watch it. Awful with a capital A. Disgraceful. That's what they ought to call DirecTV. Disgraceful TV. And they ought to call Disney. Well, I can't use that word here. I don't want to get in trouble, but I think you get my message. Screw them. And that's my rant on Pick a Rant for Grant on this Friday. Awful. Absolutely awful. Terrible. Terrible. Tell you what's not terrible. Beautiful Colusa and Sunrise Landing from Blazona Development, Colusa's newest residential community. And it's very easy to get more information. All you got to do is go online and check out ColusaSunrise.com. You can check out the various models. Remember, there's no Mellorews. There's no homeowners. Great access to the major arteries like I-5, Highway, 25? I mean, you know, it's all there, right? I mean, you no problem getting to Colusa. And it's adjacent to the Colusa Golf and Country Club. So you're going to love it. Just go to ColusaSunrise.com. Check out Sunrise Landing. I think you'll really enjoy what you see up there in Colusa at Sunrise Landing. All right, I think it was Highway 45, Highway 20, and I-5. There you have it. Easy to get to. Very easy to get to. Football. Are you watching? All right, so how many of you are not going to be able to watch the game tonight? I'm just curious. How many of you are not going to be able to watch the game tonight? Right? What do you think? What do you think? Cody says Arthur Smith versus the Falcons defense. All right. Said Jason wants to say, says, I agree, Adam, but what will they do at the backup spot? I don't know. You know, terrible. They don't care about the dish on the house anymore. They're pushing towards the internet. No one cares about you anymore. No one cares. Peter says not watching. There you go. Steelers new OC former Falcons coach. Cody's on top of everything. Good job right there. Who wins the game tonight? All right. Who wins the game tonight? What do you think? All right. I picked Green Bay in the pick'em pool. I lost the game last night. I was like, man, I'm going to win this last night if Baltimore goes for 2 because they're either going to win by 1 or lose by 1, and I would have won on the spread. But that's the way it goes. You know, that's the way it goes. All right. So I'm going to be traveling on Monday during the day. So I will not be able to do a show on Monday, but I will be back here Tuesday. All right. Tuesday at 3:00 with Sean Salisbury. Really looking forward to that. Adam says, I'm watching the game. I'm a Packers fan recording WWE and watch that later. Riley likes the Packers to win. Cody says 100 years New York Giants football. That's right. 1925 New York Giants football. I was there for a lot of it, beginning of 1962. Y.A. Tittle to Del Schaffner. That was the first pass I ever saw completed in my life at Yankee Stadium. To my left, near where the infield was. That's what I remember. I remember Y.A. Tittle throwing to Del Schaffner. That's the first football play I ever remember. Number 14 to number 85, Del Schaffner. That was, man, Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium, out in the bleachers under the French's mustard sign. God, it was great. Bye, 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 Allie. Bye, bye, Allie. We're sad to see you go. That's what I remember as my childhood. We used to sing it every Sunday. Head coach Allie Sherman. Good job right there, Riley. Excellent job right there. That's exactly right. Excellent job. That was my childhood song. Marty Glickman on the radio. Robert Merrill singing the national anthem. Bob Shepard, the voice of God. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Loved it. Loved it. Had a great childhood, man. Live from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Friday night football. Jason, I don't watch any woke sports. You, Grant. Well, let me go up. I can't read it on my screen. I got to read it on it's too. Let's see here. What do you see here? I want to read this. All right. I don't watch any woke sports. You, Grant, are the beginning of the worst turn of events in modern sports history. Until repentance happens, not going to watch. I appreciate that, Jason. That means a lot to me. Thank you very much. By the way, I'm still waiting for the judge to rule on summary judgment in my lawsuit. So any day now, I've been saying that for 2 months. So we'll see. All right. I think Ryan will be back on Monday. I believe you are absolutely correct. He'll be on the King's Court. Absolutely. Pat Summerall, field goal in the snow, 1956 against the Cleveland Browns. My dad was at the game, said it was one of the most amazing things he's ever seen. My dad was at the game at Yankee Stadium, talked about it to me all the time. Good job right there, Riley. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. One of the great kicks in New York Giants history from Pat Summerall. All right. Grant, you could have been a singer. Well, you know that's not true, John. We both know that's not true. All right. Yes, Tiafo versus Fritz. Arthur Ashe is packed. This is going to be crazy tennis on center court. I'm going to watch it, Baki. I'm watching it. As soon as I say goodbye, I'm turning it on. I'm going to watch it. Thank God I do not have DirecTV here, or I would not be able to watch it. But yeah, it's going to be fun. An incredible kick. It was. My dad said it was one of the most amazing things that he saw live at Yankee Stadium. You know, my dad was at all the great games. He was at the Alan Amici game, Colts, Giants, considered the greatest game in NFL history. I told you my dad was at the Polo Grounds on December 7th, 1941, watching the New York Giants play the Brooklyn Dodgers as a 15-year-old. And 3 years later, he was in the Navy in the Pacific Theater. Yeah, pretty amazing. My dad had a chance to experience a lot of amazing things. All right. Yes, indeed. Did everything go wrong for the 49ers in the 90 NFC Championship game? No, everything went right. Everything was perfect. Giants won, and then they beat the Bills in Tampa as I was standing in the end zone, and Matt Barr's game-winning kick went, and I ran onto the field. No, everything was perfect. Perfect. Of course, you had the fake punt, Gary Reasons. You had the Roger Craig fumble. You had Leonard Marshall knocking Joe Montana out of the game. No, everything went perfect. It's perfect. Perfect. So I don't know what you're talking about, Cody. Well, it's perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I don't even know what you're referring to. Everything went wrong. Could not have scripted it any better. That's for sure. All right, have a fabulous weekend, everybody. I'm going to go watch tennis. I'm going to enjoy the final few hours with my family. You take care. Love you, your support, and everything else. Have a fabulous weekend. Thanks for being here on If You Don't Like That.